Has LARPing gone too far? There's been a trend lately where new YouTubers copy and pretend to be like old YouTubers, and they're called Larptubers. Take for example Larptubers.
Hello everybody, my name is Larptubers.
Larpy is here.
Welcome back to a brand new video on the goddamn internet.
The LARPing Tombstone and etc. Some of them are remarkably close to the original, and some of them are genuinely spectacular on their own. For most people who miss the old style of YouTube or miss the version of a certain YouTuber, they can watch people LARP and pretend to be their favorite YouTuber. This draws them in because it's funny, comforting, and especially nostalgic. And honestly, from what I think, most of it is wholesome, silly, and in all good fun. It's all part of the LARPing trend. But recently, a line got drawn.
Okay, so there's this guy named TechnoLarp who is LARPing as Technoblade.
Yo guys, it's me. I'm TechnoLarp.
And he sounds a lot like Technoblade.
When you LARP as someone who is deceased, and you not just emulate or copy their style, but instead wear their voice, their personality, their content, their friend group, and their community, and do all of that without the permission of that person's family, that's where I have a problem. If you're on YouTube between 2013 and 2022, specifically in the Minecraft community, you know exactly who Technoblade is. He's one of the most beloved creators the platform has ever produced. Funny, charismatic, technically skilled, deeply connected to his community, and above all else, relatable.
Subscribe to Technoblade. My god, subscribe to Technoblade. Y'all better subscribe. Pretty sure this isn't 99,000. Yes, yes, one more. Yes! I win all the prizes. Quick, call my mom. Nice. Well guys, we did it. 1 million subscribers. I am now officially a big boy. We are right on the cusp of 7 million subscribers. I mean, we're just inches away. So if you could just subscribe and give us that last push we need. 10 million subscribers. Let's go. It's a larger number. That means I'm a better person now.
When he died of cancer in June 2022, the grief across the internet was devastating. His video was recorded while he was dying, and it was narrated by his father. His channel still has millions of subscribers, and to this day, his fans still miss him and support him. And his father still maintains an online presence within the community. The phrase "Technoblade never dies" lived up to its full legacy. He left behind a loving family, a friend group, and a community that still remembers him. He raised a generation of children that inspired millions of people to do what he did. And with that context, you see exactly why LARPing as Technoblade would be an issue. TechnoLarp is a Larptuber who built an entire channel around impersonating Technoblade, one-to-one. The voice, the cadence, the style of content, the editing, the dry humor. It was getting to the point that it was barely inspired by Technoblade. It wasn't paying tribute to him. It became being him as a channel, as a career. And most people, when they first heard about it, said, okay, that's a little weird, but it's probably fan service. It's for the community. It's for nostalgia. It's for the memes. It's not that deep. It's probably harmless, right? A lot of people were disturbed that there was someone LARPing as Technoblade. But at the end of the day, a lot of people defended it, and they loved the videos. But everything changed when he played with Skeppy.
Hello?
Oh.
Hello?
Hello.
Is this TechnoLarp?
This is TechnoLarp.
Collabing with one of Technoblade's actual friends, Skeppy. It didn't feel like a parody video at all. It's inserting yourself into a deceased person's life, involving their friends, their family, their community, while you're wearing their identity, while you're pretending to be their dead friend, their dead son. And if you have any social awareness at all, you already feel why that's wrong. Imagine if you were Technoblade's father, seeing this stranger wearing your son's personality and voice, stealing his community and fame, walking around as TechnoLarp, hanging around with his friend. Seeing that collab with Skeppy must have looked like a horror movie, just horrifying. Here's what Technoblade's father actually said when the community pressured him to respond to TechnoLarp. I've been avoiding addressing this for a while now. I just don't know how to react to this. I mean, certainly it's flattering to Techno, but like, what am I supposed to do? I will say that TechnoLarp has reached out to me on a few occasions to get my take on things, and I have been putting that off for a while. I just don't know what to say to him. Lately, I've been feeling very much like I just want to hide in my room and work on my scripts and space visualization software. Some days I don't go outside. It's very peaceful and I really haven't had enough peace in my life. I feel a little guilty for how I've kind of disappeared from the community, but I know I'll come back at some point. Anyway, my response is inconclusive. I'm still ruminating on the whole thing. A father who watched his son build something so beloved now has to watch this LARPing skinwalker wear his son's voice and personality and content for an audience of millions of people who loved Technoblade. And he doesn't know what to say. He doesn't know how to react. He's obviously conflicted and uncomfortable and still likely grieving for the loss of his son. You can see he's not feeling great about this whole TechnoLarp situation. TechnoLarp's interpretation of that statement was apparently permission to continue, to keep pretending, to keep LARPing as Technoblade. Hey guys, I'm from the future. This is post-editing Xylem, and I just found this weird thing that TechnoLarp did. So basically, another Technoblade impersonator, another TechnoLarp, actually warned them that they're disrespecting the dead, that making these Technoblade accounts is actually disrespectful, and TechnoLarp actually disagreed. I can't believe that another LARPing Technoblade YouTuber, an impersonator, tried to warn them, TechnoLarp, and all the Technoblade enthusiasts of LARPing. They got warned by this Technoblade LARPer.
It offends people that we created accounts that are similar to Technoblade because we're offending the dead.
Let me just talk about this real quick, because I know this is going to come up later on and we need to talk about it now before it gets out of hand, right? This is for the love of the game. This is not disrespectful in any way unless I'm doing something that would be like negative to his legacy, I guess. But I mean, that's kind of hard to do. The legacy's so large. Yeah, it's really just to make people happy because people really do miss him and want to see more Technoblade content. And I'm not Technoblade, but I sure as heck sound like him and I know how to play Minecraft. So I'm gonna make videos just to make people happy. That's all there is to it. If you don't like it, if you're watching the video and you're like, this is weird, you can leave.
Before we continue further, TechnoLarp was doxxed recently. He received death threats because of this situation. His family was reportedly targeted as well. We do not want anyone watching this video or a fan of our channel to do anything like that. We do not condone witch hunting or harassment of any creator at all. Doxing someone isn't a solution. It's not gonna make Technoblade happy. It's not gonna make his father happy. You're not justifying your actions by doxing this person. You're not some sort of vigilante. You're not some sort of hero. Just because someone did something you don't like doesn't mean you can ruin their life, threaten their family, give them death threats online. The community has already spoken on this without doing any of that. Techno is dead. We don't know anything about what he would say, but his friends and family who are alive are the ones who have a say in the situation, not randos coming in and headcanoning a dead man's approval. So for the context of this comment, a lot of people are saying that if Technoblade was alive, he would approve of TechnoLarp, that he would laugh at this and give the say to keep going or allow him to monetize the content, to keep streaming, to exist as TechnoLarp. But in my humble opinion, which I think should make sense, the only speculation we can trust from someone who's passed away is the people who was close to him, the people who was with him, who knew him better. People on the internet, the fans, the people who watch Technoblade have zero say on this. They're headcanoning that Technoblade would have been fine with the situation when Technoblade's own father is uncomfortable. And later on at the end of this video, Technoblade's own father made a new statement that shattered this headcanon. Think about it. This person is gone. They're dead. You can't speak for Techno. You can't make up things that you think Techno would say. The people around him, his friends, are uncomfortable. They don't like this TechnoLarp situation. Technoblade's father is uncomfortable with the situation. What is your opinion going to impact? You're spreading misinformation and you're basically invalidating the opinion of Technoblade's dad and the friends. It's disturbing that Technoblade's fans would say anything like this about the situation. Dude, I'm gonna be brutally honest. I'm really sorry that you got doxxed and threatened. That stuff's never okay. But if you really want this stuff to get better, you need to quit being TechnoLarp. You're impersonating a guy who died less than 5 years ago. Even if you have good intentions, this is still morally wrong. Please, for your own sake, just stop. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't feel you ever lost anyone and grieve. Grieving someone who has passed away and meant so much to others is a very deep pain. You're triggering Technoblade's father's deepest grief. You seem to not understand this because it seems you may not know the pain of losing someone. You put his father in a terrible position. He doesn't want to hurt the fans, so he can't say, "Don't do this." But this cannot be good for his grief. When you lose someone, you gradually get to the point where the pain gets easier, but that could take years, and you are making him confront this before he is ready. You shouldn't be doing this for no reason than his father. Think to yourself, if you lost your mother or someone you love and someone comes in and LARPs as them, would you feel good about that? LARPing is fun in games, but LARPing as a dead person and playing with that person's friend is kinda too far. But doxing is also too far. Nobody should ever harass and receive death threats, and I'm sorry this happened to you. But Technoblade was one of a kind. He was a staple in the Minecraft community, and whether intentional or not, you are directly mimicking him and his style, and it feels like you're replacing him. And perhaps so many people supporting you is a result of people still grieving his loss and refusing to accept that he's truly gone. But in my opinion, this is not the proper way to carry on his legacy. And I also don't think you're not a bad guy. But of course, the father would be uncomfortable with this. It's literally someone mimicking his deceased son to the point where he acts like him, sounds like him, and his friends now call you Techno. It's just messed up no matter how pure the original intentions were. You can't blame some people for seeing it differently. But again, no one should be harassing you or sending you death threats. And I'm sorry for that. The silence of TechnoDad speaks volumes that you are not welcome to be doing this. Consent is an affirmed yes, not a shrug or a middle ground. His son is dead, and this is likely making him grieve more than ever. Basically, you are puppeteering the dead. This is not okay. And if you cannot see that, it is upsetting. I don't think this channel should exist in the first place, as it is practically desecrating the dead, even with your good intentions and content. Those are just the opinions and voices of someone other than myself of this channel. I like to bring voices and the opinions of the community, the people who love Techno, and the people who aren't biased, the people who aren't defending these actions. There are tens of thousands of people who have comments just like these. Now let's talk about the allegations. The public narrative around TechnoLarp, the defense that his community deployed every single time someone raised concern about what he's doing, was consistent. Fans of TechnoLarp said that he's doing it for charity, that he's not making money at all. It's all going to a good cause. But that is not accurate, and TechnoLarp said so himself. In a community post he wrote, "We hit 40,000 subscribers. I've been thinking financially, I'm not in the greatest position, and this channel makes no money. I would like it all to go to charity when it does start making money. However, I would like to know from you, the community of Technoblade, if I deserve even a portion of the money made," which is absolutely ridiculous. He then ran a poll on YouTube. Should 25% go to charity and 75% go to him? Should it be 50-50, 75% to charity, or 100% to charity? And he keeps nothing. His audience voted for mostly 50-50. This community post exists. It's really documented online. At the moment he wrote it, TechnoDad, Technoblade's father, had not given him the blessing of any financial decision. There's also a personal donation link in his streams, running alongside a charity donation link, which is real. His own words when confronted about it were that the charity donations outnumber his personal cut of donations, which means personal donations were still happening. Money is going to him personally as TechnoLarp. And in his most recent stream description, he even put a sponsor, an affiliate link Server hosting by Prism Nodes. Use code LARP at checkout for 30% off. That's an affiliate code. That's business being conducted as TechnoLarp under the business name TechnoLarp or identity as TechnoLarp. When pressed directly on this issue, he said Prism Nodes paid him in a free Minecraft server, not cash, and that he declined a money offer.
Server hosting by Prism Nodes. Use code LARP at checkout for 30% off of any purchase. That's in your most recent stream. That's under your personal donation link as well. Was that a sponsorship you took as TechnoLarp? Prism Node gives us free server to host LARP on if we promoted them. I made nothing from it. You have a code with them. That's affiliate marketing. You don't see anything from that? They said that I could get 20% off it each time, but declined. Said if I did, it would go to the developers of the server. I'll take your word for it. But again, you don't see how that's weird? That you are now doing business as TechnoLarp? Like you keep saying that this is all just supposed to be in like good fun, they're just fun little videos to pay tribute to them, but you have a personal donation link. Your about section is entirely wrong about like the charity money, because the perception that I and everyone else had is that you are sending this money that you're making as TechnoLarp to charity, which is a positive thing, and you also are working with companies as TechnoLarp. But do you not see why that's pretty unsavory? You say you see the concerns, but like it should be pretty clear that this is very different than other Larptubers.
The public understood 3 things about TechnoLarp and assumed these things were real. All his fans are claiming these 3 things. All the money was going to charity, he wasn't personally benefiting financially, and that he wouldn't make money without TechnoDad's permission. He never fully corrected any of those impressions to his fans and to the public, and all 3 are contradicted by his own documented statements and actions. He had a community post and a poll asking if he could take money. He had affiliate codes in his streams. He did all of this without TechnoDad's permission. He was financially benefiting from the personal donation links as TechnoLarp.
Is there 2 donation links in your stream though? Yes, I have a personal one that I barely ever mention that people can optionally donate to. I feel like it's pretty obvious why you would barely mention that, man, considering a big part of the identity is that it was for a positive cause, which is something I highlighted too, about how I thought and your community thought you were donating all of this to charity. So you do have a personal donation through there as well, as TechnoLarp? I think it's pretty clear why you wouldn't mention that, because that's a very different look. The community wanted to donate to me personally, I only talked about it on stream. You don't see why that's an issue? You don't see the conflict there? I see the concerns for sure. So then why do it?
I don't think TechnoLarp is a bad person. I said that about the LARPing community at the start of this video. It's wholesome, fun, and nostalgic. I genuinely believe this started as fan love for a curator he looked up to, but it got way too out of hand for him to handle. What he needed, what this entire situation needed, was a clear answer from the one person who had any right to give it. The only opinion that we need to accept. And on July 14th of 2026, TechnoDad, Technoblade's own father, gave his final statement. I have recently become aware of concerns around a YouTube channel imitating Technoblade's voice, mannerisms, look, name, and persona. This has continued for several weeks, and it is now clear that an identity is being built as an ongoing public persona. That is a different thing from a tribute. I am asking for this to please stop and for the persona in question to cease. No blessing or permission for this or any similar persona now or in the future has been given. And then he said this. I encourage anyone interested in becoming a content creator to find their own voice. Show us who you are. A sincere presentation of your authentic self will always be better than an imitation of someone else. And at the end of the day, TechnoLarp heard it. He made a video the same day. He took the skin off, he changed the name, and he's rebranding as Striker MC. He's no longer TechnoLarp. He's his own person, his own content creator. But what this whole situation actually revealed and why it matters beyond one YouTuber and one community is that the argument that TechnoLarp's fans always brought up was that Technoblade would have wanted this. He'd find it entertaining. None of those things are for anyone other than the family to decide. The only people who would know what Technoblade would have wanted are Technoblade's friends, Technoblade's father, and his family. Fans can't just speculate and continue to headcanon that Techno would have been fine with this when his own dad isn't. Millions of fans are still grieving and coping. His own dad is still grieving. Any fan who's defending this LARPing skinwalker doesn't have respect for Technoblade or Technoblade's father. But now TechnoDad has given his answer to the entire internet. And TechnoLarp listened, surprisingly. That's how it should have worked from the beginning, asking for permission before doing anything else, before monetary gain, before live streaming more streams, making more videos, putting a personal donation link. Always ask for permission. This is a cautionary tale to know your boundaries and to be your own person, to have your own name and voice, your own brand. People will naturally like your videos and your voice. You don't have to copy anyone's personality. Just be yourself and never wear the face or the voice of the dead ever again. This has been Sinful Saints, and thank you for watching.